Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GamesQuestions. Apologies that we are a day late, however, we're here and here ready to answer the questions on this week's blog. So this week I'm going to start off with a UK and EU update for Thunder Road, as we have a few questions for that. So Thunder Road is currently in package approval. We do have a provisional start date at hand, however, due to the nature of fulfillment, we do usually hold off providing these until we're closer to final admin checks. The reason for this is just to ensure that the information we are providing or publishing is as accurate as possible and also matches any future potential updates that the publisher may make on the Kickstarter page as well. The last thing we want to do is confuse backers with a mixed message. However, I can confirm that things are moving smoothly, so as soon as we're in the final admin checks, we will be able to provide the estimated start date. So I know that doesn't answer the questions we had for estimated start date, but I hope that information just helps understand the process we take and why we do tend to hold off providing them fulfillment start dates at this stage. Okay, next up we also have another UK and EU update for Vindication. So I'm happy to confirm that fulfillment started on Friday. If you follow our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter, which is at GamesQuest, and on Instagram at gamesquest.co.uk, you'll be aware we also posted an update there on Friday to announce that fulfillment had started. Fulfillment has started off with the pre-pack orders, and I'm happy to confirm that the majority of these orders have now been dispatched. So once these are completed, we'll be moving on to the pick and pack orders. So fulfillment will be continuing into next week. So please don't worry if you haven't received that dispatch email in the meantime. As always, we'll keep everyone updated with how that is progressing, either through our social media channels, or we'll keep you updated here on each weekly episode of GamesQuestions. So next up we're going to head over to the EU blog and going to start off with Beast, as there is a lot of hype around this one. So fulfillment for Beast is expected to start on Monday next week. We know backers have been waiting a long time for this, and apologies that I didn't start at the same time as EU orders. However, we are expecting it to start on Monday. So if that goes as planned, it'll be on fulfillment underway on the blog next week, and as always we'll aim to get that social media update across our social media channels as well, so just keep an eye out for that in the meantime. And with Beast out the way, we're going to head over to the Binding of Isaac, and orders still heading out the door, and we're now heading towards the end of fulfillment. We'll have further updates to arrive in next week's questions. However, I would recommend in the meantime, as I'm sure all the backers probably already are, is to keep an eye on the Kickstarter page, as I've said previously, Maestro Media do an amazing job at keeping backers up to date with information with fulfillment, which is helpful to you guys. So okay, and we're going to head over to rumors and legends. So Paul has said in the questions that Rumours and Legends has disappeared from the blog. This is correct. I can confirm that it has now been re-added. So you'll now find Rumours and Legends under final admin checks. For it disappearing, it seems to have been the blog seems to have been doing it recently. The issue why certain projects had been removed has now been highlighted. So fingers crossed that won't continue to happen anymore on the blog and it won't cause any confusion. So yeah, thank you for noticing that, Paul, and it has been re-added. Next up we have the Isofarian guard. As we mentioned in last week's Games Questions, we were waiting for that to arrive on site and can confirm that it did arrive on Friday and is now under project data analysis. Eric in the questions this week said that you weren't able to locate it on the blog. It is currently under project data analysis. However, it might have been the EU blog. We've put the in front of it, so it is located further down on the blog than it originally was. As I'm sure many of you are aware, the blog runs in alphabetical order, so it might just be a little bit lower down than you're used to seeing. So apologies there, Eric, but hopefully you're able to locate it on the blog now. And next up we have Star Realms Nova. So we have a question from Fernando requesting an update on Star Realms. So as you highlighted in your question, Star Realms has been underway for a while now. For this project, we needed to complete a stock transfer so that we were able to fulfill all orders. I've been told now that there's just under 200 orders awaiting approval. What I can do is look at providing an update on next week's blog just at the top with a note saying if these final orders are in fact underway or not. So hopefully, Fernando, that information will be useful for you, and hopefully that explains why it's been under fulfillment underway for a while. Right, and I believe that's all the questions on the EU blog. As usual, if anyone needs any further clarification or if I've missed off any questions, please feel free to drop us a message on our Facebook page and we'll provide what we can there. However, with with the EU questions complete, we're going to head over to the UK blog, and the first update is for Kapow. So as we stated in last week's Games Questions, uh, there was a final 23 orders of Kapow being processed, and these are the items that were missing from the first shipment. More precisely, orders missing Volume 2. So these are, as I said previously, these are being processed and picked. So once they have been dispatched, backers will receive a dispatch email as usual. So I'd say if you're one of the final 23 backers waiting for that Volume 2, just keep an eye on your inbox in the meantime. And just next up, we have the Binding of Isaac, and just like in the EU, we are now towards the end of fulfillment of the Binding of Isaac. So we'll be in a better situation next week to provide potentially any further information if needed there. So watch this space for that. However, as I said on the EU update, Maestro Media are doing an amazing job at providing backers with a lot of helpful information. So I definitely recommend just keep an eye on the Kickstarter page for their next shipment update. So yeah, that is Binding of Isaac so far. Not much of an update on this one this week, except for we're now towards the end of fulfillment there. But so yeah, still a few more orders to go, so please don't be concerned if you haven't received that dispatch email in the meantime. Okay, we have DC Deck Builder. We've had a lot of questions for this over the last 6 weeks now, and I would like to apologise for the delay on this. If you're following the Kickstarter page, which I imagine you all are, you'll be aware that they recently put out an update which stated it is currently our busiest time of the year, and we have been processing a backlog of fulfillments. Unfortunately, DC Deck Builder has been one of the projects affected by the delay, and this is now expected to start fulfillment on the week commencing the 15th of May, and is expected to start after Forbidden Realms. So that is the expected start date. As always, we always aim to also get them updates out across social media as well. So just make sure you're following pages if you're not in the meantime. And once again, apologies for the delay there. Okay, next up we have Vampire Masquerade. Fulfillment schedule-wise, we do tend to hold off until final admin checks. However, the publisher has announced on their Kickstarter page that this is expected to start this on the week commencing the 15th of May alongside DC Deck Builder. However, please bear in mind that will only go ahead as long as the other stages run smoothly. Yeah, Gary, I hope, apologies that I can't give you a straight answer on how long a project is normally in project data analysis. However, I hope the additional information added to that is useful for you. Okay, and next up we have some questions from Andy. And is asking if it'd be possible to add raw figures to the blog. This is not something, unfortunately, this is not something we're able to do. We try our best to keep backers as up to date as we can. For instance, with the larger projects, we try to post percentage up, and on some occasions, the publishers like to directly provide these updates themselves. So we need to take that into consideration when providing updates. For your next question, Andy, you've also asked about having the blog in queue order rather than alphabetical. However, I will definitely pass on both them feedbacks to the team to discuss. It's always great to see, what's working, what isn't working, and the blog is created for backers. So yeah, definitely appreciate you taking time out your day to provide that feedback. Next up, we have a question from Paul. This is about project data analysis. And yes, Paul, there was a typo in this week's title, and it has been updated in the meantime. So nice spot there. So for your question about project data analysis, we do have a blog where we provide what's included on each stage. However, this is the stage where the team will analyze and finalize the backer data. This will include assessing the size and complexity of the project. So this covers number of items, average number of picks per order, and just number of orders in total. As well as that, they need to check that there is enough inventory to meet the requirements of the fulfillment. There's a lot involved during project data analysis, and to be honest, I believe another member of the team could definitely answer this question a lot better than I can, as you know, we do have a dedicated team just to this stage. If that is something people are interested in learning about, please let us know, and we can definitely look at getting more behind the scenes footage of what's involved at that stage, if that would be helpful, or if people find that interesting. However, what I can do in the meantime is leave the link below with the article which breaks down each stage. But yeah, of course, please let us know if behind the scenes footage would be useful as well to reference of what's involved. And yeah, I believe with that, that's all the questions out the way for this week's Games Questions. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who has continued to leave comments on the blog. It's a great place to provide, it's a great place to talk to backers and just understand. It gives us an understanding of what information backers are after, and how we can possibly adapt how we provide information in the future. So thank you there, um, and hopefully, we have currently been dealing with the busiest period of the year for ourselves. So having the space to talk to backers and explain what projects are held up and how it's been affected. Hopefully that's been useful to everyone. So yeah, on that note, thanks for watching again this week, and as usual, the blogs will be out on Tuesday, hopefully with the correct date on it this time, Paul. I'll double check that. And as usual, get your questions in, and we'll be back next Thursday for more games questions. So yeah, until then, bye everyone.